routing module.ts. That is one here. Another file is the component related files. The main is customers.module.ts, customers.module.ts. And this is the file. And this contains child routes. It contains child routes. And it contains the child modules, the child module registration. Child routes and child module registration is present here. And this is customer.component.ts. These are common. So customers.component.html. Those are the common options. That means we have this normal, right? Customers.component.ts, customers.component.html, and customers.component.css. These are all the component related options. And important is here, child route is configured in this way: customers routing.module.ts. I'll just give an overview how it looks like. Actually, in every module, so it have its own route, and here it uses for root technique. Here it uses for root technique. It uses the for root technique. For root and for child, here it is using for child, and it is loading the route for the child. And this is the route for the customers. And similarly, it will have the route for all. And important is, now you go to app routing.module.ts, and here the paths are defined in this way. Here the paths are configured in this way. Just an example path here I will give. And this is the path how we configure for lazy loading. So for lazy loading, the paths are configured in this way. So you need to first import those modules, and the paths are configured in this way. So load children and import their module. Module means this module contains all the library used for that particular categories, because it contains all the components, it contains all the directives, it contains all the services for that particular module. It will load, it will import them, and then it will load them. And this technique allows you to load and import and load only when they are requested. Okay, after understanding this, we need to create the navigation. Create navigation from app component.html, because that is the startup one for us. So let's start with this. Amazon project and see. That means we need to start with that Amazon project. Then here I'm using ng serve project is equal to Amazon. That is the project we are starting with. So now what you have to do, so first we will see creating navigation also, then we can write all that. We are starting with Amazon project, and you know that it will come with So it is starting with Amazon project. Now we will open here. So localhost 4200. You can see the Amazon project home is coming, and it is coming from app component. So what you will do is we can go to the app component of Amazon, app component.html. In this app component.html of Amazon, here I will just remove all, and I will keep a heading Amazon portal. Okay. In this Amazon portal, I will just keep here some buttons. Amazon portal we will add some navigation here. So that means I'm adding some navigation here. That means we will just keep a div, just we will keep buttons. And this button is home. Okay, another button is customers. Another button is vendors. And another button is this button is products. And you can see those buttons are available in our design, and you can see those buttons are available. You can implement Bootstrap and all. Home, customers, vendors, and products are available here. Okay, when the output for them should be displayed in a div below, and here I will put style. So margin top is some 30 pixel, and below I will use a router outlet. We will use a router outlet below. So below the button, router outlet will come. And when user clicks on home, customers, vendors, then it should navigate. Then generally we can add a router link for them. A router link for this button is empty. That means if nothing is requested, home will come. And the router link for this is /customers. So that is the path. So we have the path in app routing. That is the path. So categories, right? So we have categories. So that means here we are defining categories. So categories. So we have categories. So categories. Okay, categories. And similarly, we are adding a router link. This is for products. Vendors. This is for /vendors. Okay, this is a router link. This is for / that is for products. Okay, that is design. Now we created a navigation for categories, vendors, and products. So first, once you need to observe here is, let's open the browser, and initially you see here, so home, categories, products, and vendors are there. I will press F12, the debugger will come. So in this debugger, go to network. Okay, here you can see currently the tracking. So I will just stop recording and start recording. And I will make a request here. And it loads all the components. Observe here, it loads all the components here. And remember, our modules related library is not loaded yet. To clean these all, because these are all the files that are by default loaded. That is all related to compiling your program. And important here is just clean up. So click that clear button, it is cleaned up. Now observe here, I click on categories. You can see only categories related component module will be injected here. Others are not loaded here. That means only the categories module is imported here, and the categories is coming here. Left side you can see the categories is coming here. That means it is loaded only when it is needed, when it is required. And similarly now others will be adding into this now, right? When I click on vendors, then only vendors will be loaded. It's not like it will remove the categories, right? Why? Because it is already loaded. Until or unless you dispose, it is there, right? But they are not preloaded. They are loaded on request. And I click on products, then products will be loaded. That means these bundles will be loaded only when you are requesting them. When you are requesting them, they will be loaded. If we are not implementing that lazy loading technique, they are loaded even when they are not required. That means they are directly available, readily available. It will preload all the modules and keep it ready for you.